Picture this. A 20-year-old Filipina from a country with little history of producing tennis legends steps onto one of the most hallowed hard courts on the planet. She faces down athletes who have been professionals for longer than she's been alive, and then systematically takes them apart with the craft might and intensity of a seasoned champion. Imagine she pulls this off not just once or twice, but repeatedly at tournament after tournament until the entire tennis world has no choice but to pay attention. That young woman is Alexandra Eala, and at this very moment, the world is completely captivated. This isn't a narrative about future promise. This isn't the tale of a gifted junior biding her time for a big break. This is a story that is currently unfolding, playing out in real time on the most celebrated stages the sport can provide. And the most incredible part of it all is that by any available metric, her most significant achievements are still to come. Let's return to the moment this modern fairy tale first exploded onto the global stage. It was March of 2025 at the Miami Open, one of the most celebrated WTA 1000 events on the tour calendar, a competition that has forged and defined the careers of countless women's tennis stars. Alexandra Eala entered the tournament ranked 140th in the world. That's a ranking that, within the exclusive world of the WTA Tour, effectively marks you as a player on the periphery. Gifted certainly, but worlds away from the elite circle of athletes who are the face of the sport. Outside of the Philippines and a small circle of tennis insiders, nobody predicted what was about to unfold. Competing as a wildcard entry, she won, and then she won again. She then defeated Madison, who was the number 5 ranked player in the world at that moment. The tennis world was already starting to buzz. But the true tremor was felt when she stepped onto the court to face Świątek, the undisputed powerhouse of women's tennis, a 5-time Grand Slam winner, and the planet's number 2 player. In a showing that had commentators grasping for new superlatives, Eala beat Świątek. She didn't just survive a close call, she flat-out defeated her. That meant back-to-back wins against top 10 players and a journey all the way to the semifinals of a WTA 1000. She hadn't just made her entrance on the world stage, she had blown the door clean off its hinges. The impact of Miami 2025 was monumental. She became the very first Filipino player in the Open era's history to advance to the semifinal round of a WTA 1000 tournament. She also became the first Filipina to ever crack the WTA World Top 100 since the ranking system started in 1975. 50 years of tennis records, and no one from the Philippines had managed it. Then Alexandra Eala accomplished it in the space of one unbelievable week in Florida. Her ranking leaped from 140 to 75 virtually overnight, and that was just the beginning. To appreciate why Eala's ascent is about more than just sports, you have to consider the historical framework of her achievements. Women's tennis has forever been a sport shaped by iconic figures and powerful dynasties. From Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova to Steffi Graf, the Williams sisters, Serena's era of absolute dominance, and Naomi Osaka's cultural impact. The sport has always celebrated athletes who offer something beyond their on-court skills. Osaka did more than just win major championships. She completely changed the public conversation surrounding athlete mental health and representation. The question that the tennis community is starting to pose with more and more genuine excitement is whether Alexandra Eala is the next athlete on the verge of creating a similar transformation not only for her country, but for the entire sport. Just look at the evidence. During the final months of 2025, Eala continued her climb. She claimed her first WTA 125 championship in Guadalajara. She advanced to the final of the Eastbourne WTA 250 competition. She took home the gold medal in women's singles at the Southeast Asian Games in Thailand. She made history in August at the US Open, becoming the first ever Filipino to win a match at a Grand Slam by beating Clara Tauson in the first round in New York, a moment with such cultural weight for the Philippines that it went far beyond sports. As the year closed, her ranking had risen to a career best of world number 50. A year before that, she was at 140. But 2026 has revealed an even more stunning chapter. Eala started the new year with semi-final runs in both singles and doubles at the Auckland Open, serving early proof that her 2025 performance was not a coincidence. She made it to the quarterfinals at the Abu Dhabi Open. After that came Dubai, another WTA 1000 tournament, and another career-defining moment. She beat Jasmine Paolini, who was ranked 7th in the world, securing her first top 10 victory of the new year. She fought her way to the quarterfinals before her run was ended by the world's number 4, Coco Gauff. By February 23, 2026, her ranking had vaulted to world number 31, a fresh career peak confirming her as the highest-ranked Filipino player in the whole history of the WTA Tour. The numbers are undeniable. The upward path she is on is almost dizzying. And then Coco Gauff herself, one of the most dynamic and important young athletes in the game, made a comment after her match with Eala in Dubai that made headlines across the globe. Gauff went on record to thank Alexandra Eala for introducing a whole new demographic to the world of tennis. Pause to consider the significance of that comment. One of the sport's biggest stars, a Grand Slam champion herself, was acknowledging that another young competitor is expanding tennis's fan base in a way that transcends anything happening on the court. That kind of praise is not given out lightly. It is an acknowledgement of true cultural influence. The buzz surrounding Eala is not just based on statistics. It is personal, powerful, and absolutely electric. At the 2026 Australian Open in January, Eala's first-round contest against Alicia Parks drew thousands of Filipino supporters to Melbourne Park. The BBC reported that the gathering of fans caused a massive jam outside the court, forming a line that wound for several hundred yards through the venue. These people weren't simply there to see a tennis match. They were present for a historic occasion, and they knew it. They came in such overwhelming numbers that organizers were caught off guard, that TV cameras scrambled to document it, and that delivered a clear signal to tennis leadership worldwide. There is a massive, devoted, and largely ignored audience for the sport in Southeast Asia, and its name is Alexandra Eala. The parallels now being made in the Philippines are highly revealing. Eala is being called the Manny Pacquiao of tennis, and that is not some throwaway line. Pacquiao did not just become an amazing boxer. She became a figure of national pride, uniting a country of over 100 million that was searching for a global hero to support wholeheartedly. Filipino sports journalist Diane Castillo, a former tennis player herself, notes that in the Philippines, Eala is already revered as if she holds multiple Grand Slam titles. This immense emotional investment from her homeland is remarkable, especially since the most defining moments of her career are yet to come. What are the origins of this incredible story? Alexandra Eala entered the world in Quezon City on May 23, 2005, born to a family that knew the costs of both greatness and sacrifice. Her mother, Rizila, was a national swimmer who competed in the 1985 Southeast Asian Games, while her father, Mike, is a corporate executive. Although they were not a traditional tennis household, her family deeply understood the demands of elite competition and the grueling daily commitment required for athletic preparation. That fundamental discipline and sense of purpose ingrained since she was a child is evident every time Eala speaks about her professional path. Her journey led her to the Rafael Nadal Academy in Manacor, Spain, recognized as one of the planet's most prestigious and challenging tennis institutions. The academy, founded on the ideals of a 22-time Grand Slam champion, is anything but a simple finishing school. It is a crucible, and it was there that Eala's discipline and competitive fire were forged, qualities now on display weekly on the WTA Tour. She is equally fluent in Spanish, English, and Filipino, and has trained with Nadal himself. You see it in her left-handed style, her powerful baseline game, aggressive shots, and the mental composure that eludes players twice her age. All of these skills were sharpened through years of demanding work under the Spanish sun, and in 2022, the world got a preview of her ascent. Eala captured the girls' singles trophy at the U.S. Open Junior Championships, making history as the very first Filipino to claim a major junior championship. As far back as 2020, she had climbed as high as the world number 2 position in the ITF Junior combined rankings. Her talent was never in doubt. The real question was whether she could transform her exceptional junior prowess into professional-level dominance. With every tournament that passes, that question is being settled in the most decisive manner imaginable. Eala's own statements about her goals reveal a player possessing a rare combination: the drive of someone with a clear destination in mind, blended with the patient, grounded attitude of a person who truly understands the path to get there. In a late 2025 interview looking ahead to 2026, she remarked with her typical insight that 2025 was her first full year on the WTA Tour, and she had barely tapped her true potential. When asked about her ultimate potential, she stated clearly that she aims to capture Grand Slams and become world number 1, adding a note that showed wisdom beyond her 20 years. She suggested that 2027 might be even more successful than 2026, not out of ego, but from a quiet, unwavering belief in a process she fully embraces. The tennis world recognizes this kind of career path and understands where it can lead, as the sport finds itself at a crucial juncture looking for its next iconic champion. It needs a new must-see star, a player who can captivate casual viewers and make them tune in for every match. The yearning for such a figure is palpable across broadcast social media platforms and even within the sport's governing organizations. And here in March of 2026, a 20-year-old from the Philippines is rising to that challenge with every ounce of her being. As of March 16, 2026, she sits at world number 29, the highest ranking ever for a Filipino athlete on the WTA Tour. She has defeated top 10 players, advanced to WT. A 1,000 semifinals, won a junior Grand Slam, and captivated crowds from Melbourne to Miami, earning the respect of this era's greatest athletes. She has energized a nation of more than 100 million people and brought a completely new audience into the world of professional tennis. And based on her own trajectory, her self-assessment, and the consensus of experts watching her, this is only the beginning. Could Alexandra Eala be the transformative force tennis has been awaiting? The entire world is watching. And the answer, with every serve, every forehand, and every battle she fights on the court, becomes clearer each day. That answer is an emphatic, groundbreaking, and spectacular yes.